Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to this prenatal yoga practice. I'm titling this one Strength Building Prenatal Yoga. I know that many days you might feel really tired and be looking for movement options that are a little more low key and require less effort. Maybe there are days where you're feeling energetic, you're feeling strong, and you want to build more strength that helps prepare you for labor and delivery, helps prepare you for life with a tiny being that you're going to be carrying everywhere, and just life in general. So this is a practice for days that you have a little bit more gas in the tank. I'm going to break out the pieces of class, like the sections that we're doing, with timestamps below, so that you're like, I have some energy, but I'm not going to do this whole practice. Maybe with a little bit of a warm up on your own, you could come into like the hip section or the like glute strengthening section or the arm section or something like that. So I want this to feel accessible and customizable to your body, your needs, your energy level. So I'll give lots of options while I go. But like the most important thing to remember is that you are the boss of your own body, and you know so much better than I do what's going on with you and your baby or babies. So if your doctor has cleared you to practice prenatal yoga, welcome, and stay in tune with how this feels and respond accordingly. All right, that said, props for class. We got all the props. If you have access to a yoga bolster, that's going to help us in Savasana get nice and comfy. If you don't have a bolster, grab like a really big pillow from your bed or even a couch cushion. We've got a blanket to cushion the knees when kneeling. It just always feels good. And then 1 or 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, something like a shoebox could work for now. But these are pretty inexpensive and a really excellent investment to help you be more comfortable in all sorts of shapes, whether you're pregnant or not. All right, there's a playlist linked below if you're interested in having a little vibe to guide us. I'm going to start it right now. We don't need to be perfectly synced up, so start it on your own. And when you're ready, we'll get started in a seated position. So your choice of how to sit. I'll be sitting cross-legged, I think on my bolster. I think that feels nice. You can take your time getting there. Find a comfy position for you. This sitting cross-legged feels like a lot for the legs. Try putting blocks underneath your knees, especially if your hips are feeling really tight or achy. A little bit of support can be really nice. And as you start to find some stillness, rest your hands somewhere that feels comforting to you. Palms down if you're looking to ground or calm. Palms up if you're looking to receive some energy. And if it feels comfortable to you, blink your eyes closed or just draw your gaze softly downward. Without changing anything in this moment, just notice your breath. Observe its temperature, its texture. Notice if it feels full and easy, or maybe a little more short and strained. Notice where you feel your breath in your body. Is it in the nostrils? Maybe the chest, maybe the belly. And as you continue to breathe normally, draw attention to your spine, tracing a line from the base of your tailbone all the way up through the top of your head. And notice if that awareness drew you up just a little taller, a little more proud in your seat. And we'll welcome our bodies, our minds into this practice with a breathing exercise that can help you connect with your baby or babies. It's really simple and paired with a visualization. So as you breathe in, draw awareness to your heart space. Maybe you observe a color. Don't think too hard about it. The first color that came to mind is great. As you let your breath out nice and full, send that color, that breath down to baby. And it's just like that. Again, breathing in, allowing your heart space to fill with the breath, with the energy of intention. And exhaling to share your breath with baby. Continue to breathe like this, taking big, slow, full breaths or more natural, even breaths. It's up to you. As you start to focus your attention on the here and the now. There are so many things that compete for your attention all day long. But you've chosen to carve out this space just for you. Let yourself really be here. Everything else will be waiting when you're done. Maybe you start to infuse this breath, this color with an intention for your practice, thinking about how you'd like to feel afterwards, or maybe there's something you've been really focusing on throughout your pregnancy journey that you want to bring into this practice. Maybe it's as simple as staying in the present moment. Simple, not easy. And as you continue to breathe into your heart space and down to baby, just scan your body head to toe, noticing where you're holding tension, observing any aches or pains without becoming attached to them or letting them take you away, just noticing that they're there. Let's take a round of breath together to seal your intention, solidify our presence in this practice. Take a big breath in through your nose, filling up your whole heart. And the biggest breath out you can muster, sending your intention, your breath to baby. Blink your eyes open. If they were closed, start to find some circles with the hips here. So kind of rocking along the corners of your pelvis. Nice and easy, just checking it out. You might start to notice how the outer hips feel, how the low back feels. You might be observing any sense of spaciousness or crunchedness in your side bodies, depending on how far along you are. You might be starting to feel a little crunched for space. Go ahead and switch directions of your circles. And maybe you start to make this a little more dramatic through the shoulders, just following your intuition, kind of embracing a curiosity of, oh, I wonder what it would feel like to maybe like drop one shoulder, pull the chest forward. Maybe as you rock backward, you're finding a little like cat and cow through the spine. And when you're ready, find stillness at center. Drop your ear, right ear to your right shoulder. Just observing the length along the left side of the neck. Imagine a string is drawing your left ear up towards the sky. Notice any shifts in sensation. And when you're ready, drop your chin down to your chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Maybe a little movement side to side here, just feeling it out. Lift your head back to center, left ear to left shoulder, stretching the right side. To intensify this sensation, imagine your right ear is being lifted up to the sky. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Drop your chin back down to your chest. Start to move between these shapes on your own here. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Maybe you open and close the jaw. I'm a big advocate of the silent scream, which looks like this. Feels really good. There's a lot of tension in the face, you know? Yeah, all right. Find your stillness at center, uncross your legs, give your legs a little wiggle, spaghetti legs. And then come back to cross legs, but switch the cross of your legs. So opposite leg is gonna go forward. A little bit more seated, and then we're gonna get moving. All of this is building to the strength building. So we will get there. All right, take a big breath in, sweep your arms up to the sky, find length on both sides. As you exhale, bend to your right, bringing your right hand onto the ground, stretching along the left side of your body. Hug baby in as you push back to center, inhale. And your exhale takes you off towards the left side, finding space here. Start to move with your breath, inhaling to center, hugging baby in, and exhaling into a side bend. Move at your own pace. If it feels good to stay in the side bend and soak it up, please stay. We're starting to warm up through the muscles of the core. Yes, your core is still very active, even though you've got a baby growing in there. Just we find strength in that area in different ways. No crunches, mercifully, no crunches. Good. Each time you come back to center, see if you might reach up just a centimeter higher, making your torso as spacious and long as you can. Let's do one more on each side, sticking with the breath. Good. When you are done, come back to center. We'll take some twists here, just some nice, easy ones. Take a breath in, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, gentle twist towards your right. Bring your left hand onto your right thigh. Right hand can be back behind you to push you up. Baby is still mostly facing forward, just bringing a little bit of rotation to the spine. Let your inhale bring you back to center. Exhale over to the left. Thinking about length through the spine, space along your sides. Good, come back to center. Last one here. Bring your fingertips onto the ground like little suction cups and start to walk them forward any amount. Keep your chest proud and gliding forward. And maybe when you reach something that feels like a good depth for you, you let yourself rock side to side. This might feel really nice if you're experiencing any low back stiffness. Play with tucking your chin to your chest versus reaching it forward. Crawl your fingertips off towards one side and then the other, just playing with how subtle movement changes affect the sensations and the experience in your body. About 2 more breaths here, just exploring. Good. Return to center, walk your suction cups back up and in. And we'll meet in a tabletop position. Take your time getting there. Keep your blocks at the back of your mat for now. Blocks at the back. If you have that blanket to use for cushion on the knees, now is a great time to bring it there. And if putting your wrists flat onto the ground is uncomfortable, or you're feeling just like little carpal tunnel-y through the wrists, try fists instead, where the tops of your knuckles go onto the ground, straight wrists. Another option is to go for forearms on the block, which I just told you to put behind you, sorry. I find this like way more exhausting through the shoulders, but if you're here to build strength and you want to build some shoulder strength, we got options. All right, tabletop is where we are. Start to find some cat and cow. So as you inhale, lifting your tailbone just a bit, hugging baby in, even in this shape, dragging your heart forward. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone, hug baby up to your spine, chin to chest. Continue to move with your breath here, introducing this movement to the spine. Good, and see if you might originate this movement from the pelvis. So it starts with the lift and the tuck, and the spine follows from there. Good. Start to sway your hips from side to side here. Maybe you start to draw some circles with the hips, see how this feels. You might bring your knees a little wider to make room if your belly's gotten pretty big in this stage of pregnancy. Just finding some hinges with the hips or little circles. Everything we've done so far, you can stop and do anytime in the middle of your day. You're like, ugh, my low back, ugh, my hips. You don't have to sit down for a whole 45-minute practice to feel a little bit of relief. You might just drop onto the floor, onto the bed. Just a little bit of movement goes a long way. Good. Find stillness at center. Send one leg back long behind you. Just start to glide on your toes. Just stretching out through the backs of the legs. Arches of the feet. Maybe finding a little bit of like a pump action here to get into the ankle. And when you're ready, switch out your legs. Opposite leg goes back. Good. All right, now don't panic, but the strength part starts here. We're gonna do some bird dogs or floating tabletop, I've heard it called. So come back to all fours. Send your right leg long and your left toes back onto the mat behind you. You could stay like this. This is still requiring a decent amount of effort, especially if you hold it for a little while. If you want to take this one bus stop further, lift your left leg up. Good. Now hug baby up and in. Think about making your spine as long as you can and gently breathe. Gently breathe. Take a breath in, lengthen your arm and your leg. As you exhale, draw your elbow towards your knee. They don't need to touch. Even just bringing this little motion brings a balance challenge to the shape. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow towards knee, moving slowly and mindfully. Let's do 3 more. You can do it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, elbow towards knee. Here we go. Last one. You can do it. Finish strong. Inhale. And exhale, and then release. Swish your hips side to side. Maybe take a couple more of those hip hinges. Saying thank you to the right glute. Just did so much work. And we'll do this on the other side. So right leg goes back behind you. Left fingertips come forward. Decide if you want to move on. You can stay here, or you could lift the right leg up. Good. Steady yourself here. Hug baby in. Commit yourself to a strong breath to help facilitate a strong movement. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow towards knee with control. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow towards the knee. We got 3 more on this side. Make your breath loud and strong. Make the person in the next room wonder what on earth is going on in here. 2 more. Good. So much control. Last one. Finish strong. And release. Beautiful. Send your hips side to side. Pull your bolster in across your mat. We'll find child's pose using the bolster. So toes touch, knees are wide. You can still be on the blanket if that feels good. And I invite you to bring your forearms onto the bolster. This helps make room for baby. You might stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. Or you could stay up on your forearms and just enjoy the way this feels through your lower body. Take 3 big breaths here, feeling your breath fill up the back body. Taking a moment to check back in with your intention, your reason for showing up today. And just a reminder that this time is never wasted. Even if your body responds differently than you maybe hoped it would today, the fact that you are here dedicated to moving and breathing for yourself is enough. Press yourself back up onto your palms, slide your bolster out of the way. We're not going to use it again until the very end. You can keep it a little further off. And now your blocks go back by your feet. All right. We're going to pop up into a downward facing dog. If this is not going to feel good to you for whatever reason, stay in tabletop, do some cat cows. We're not going to be here for very long. If you're moving into down dog, tuck your toes, walk your hands all the way forward, lift your hips up. It is wild to me that some yoga teachers talk about down dog being a resting pose, because this is a strong as heck pose. Your shoulders are getting a workout, your hands, your core is working here. Not easy. You can continue to strengthen through your upper body by really gripping at the mat with your fingertips. So spread your fingers wide, rotate your hands out slightly so your index finger points straight forward. Grip at the mat with your finger pads and then the knuckles that connect your fingers to your hands. You might feel your palm pop up like a little suction cup, and then push the earth away from you. Feet can be as wide as you need to make room for baby. Take a big breath in here. Good, and as you exhale, start to walk your hands back towards your feet. This is where the blocks come into play. Maybe you bring your hands onto blocks and you kind of stilt walk backwards. We're walking back to a big forward fold. Keep your feet at least as wide as the width of your mat. Hands to blocks here. Sway your hips side to side. Straighten one leg and then the other. Good, and we're gonna move to standing here. So bring your hands onto your thighs, bend your knees gently, press yourself all the way up to stand. Nice job. All right, blocks can go off to the side for a moment. We're just gonna find a little bit of movement on the mat. So we've been kind of still and steady, working our way up. I want you to find a wide stance on your mat and just start to like swish your arms around. This is just movement for the sake of movement. We're moving energy around, bringing some blood into the arms, kind of reinvigorating the whole body here. I heard someone call these kidney slaps once. And so then I said that to a group of people I was teaching yoga to. And then someone afterwards was like, why don't you call them kidney kisses? And I said, okay, I'll do it next time. So the next time is now. These little kidney kisses. Yeah. Notice the way that the air around you feels as it moves through your fingertips. And observe how this rotation feels in your spine. Maybe you're taking a little easy if this feels like a lot. Maybe you've got the energy to make this be a little more active. I love it. You're here for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Find stillness, and we're gonna march for a minute. So just picking up an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to be fast. You don't have to like high knee it unless that like feels fun to you. And you might notice that you're doing opposite arm, opposite leg like me. Maybe you started doing same arm, same leg. Whichever one you're not doing, switch it up. So I'm doing opposite. I'm gonna try, this is brain yoga now. Here we go, we're doing same. Here we go, same arm, same leg. Good. Notice the way the ground feels beneath you, realizing how steady it is. It's here to support you. We're also gonna use a wall for this next strength building part. So if at any point you start to feel a little dizzy or just like you need a break, you'll be able to kind of push yourself out of it with the support of the wall. All right, find stillness at the center. Take a minute, bring one hand to baby, one hand to your heart. Just observe the aliveness moving through your body here. Feeling grateful for this breath, this moment, this life growing inside of you. And remembering that you are here for you, but you are also here for this little one. Good. All right, blink your eyes open. All right, we're gonna do some wall sits. I know, we said yoga for strength building. All right, option to grab a block to make this a little harder. Locate a wall that has only a small amount of art on it. I am gonna fit right in this little hole, but basically We can also think of this a little bit as contraction practice. I'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to set my timer so that I don't make us do this for too long. But all right, start to lower yourself down. It doesn't have to be like the lowest wall sit of your life. Feet can be as wide as feels comfortable to make room for baby. My whole back is against this wall for support. Maybe it feels a little easy at first, but we're going to be here for 30 more seconds, which means we're going to need to bring the breath. We're going to have to bring that mental attitude that you can do difficult things. You're stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. And good things are worth the effort. So if you want to bring a little bit more upper body activation to this, you have the block. You put it between your palms, set it out in front of you and squeeze it. It's just an option. Try it, don't try it, it's all good. At this point, you might be starting to feel your heart rate increasing, legs are burning, maybe shaking. It is fine to come up for a break anytime you need. But if you're feeling like this is the level of challenge you came here for, I want you to bring the breath. Big in breaths, strong out breaths. Look at that, our first minute is done. All right, press yourself up. We got 2 more. Shake out your legs. Maybe you're revisiting some of these little like kidney kisses or the marches, just something to kind of shake it out. And we're gonna go right back in. So I wasn't gonna tell you that this was a minute because now I feel like you're psyching yourself out, but sit back down into your wall sit. You got it. The block is optional. We're here together. I'm right here with you. Let yourself be challenged by this. It's gonna be challenging, but you can totally do it. And honestly, bring the breath. Like, make it loud. Make the person in the next room wonder what sort of a video you are doing exercise to. And something that one of my trainers said when I was doing my prenatal training that I really appreciated is she reminded us that birth is loud. Babies are loud. Like, I don't know if you identify as a woman, but so many of us are socialized to be quiet and not to take up space. And so things like hearing the person next to you in a yoga class breathe is like taboo. Well, to get through labor, to get through this wall sit, we got to bring the breath. Amazing. All right, step it up. That was our end of our second one. Whew, it burns. We got 1 more. All right, let's go right back into it. You ready? Okay, last wall sit. Best wall sit. You can do it. The timer is going. Start to bring your most focused breath here. And if you haven't tried it yet, let your exhale come out your teeth like a sound. It's kind of strange, but it also helps engage your transverse abdominals, which are your deepest layer of core. They're still in there with baby. But as you exhale, squeeze and let baby hug in. We're halfway there. You're doing amazing. Notice any tension that's crept up into your face. You let that go while you keep the strength in your core and your lower body. Feel your feet on the ground, the steadiness beneath you. Find the steadiness inside. It's there. Couple more breaths. You're doing amazing. We got 10 seconds. Easy. We can finish all the way through this 10. So strong. I love it. 3, 2, 1, and up we go. Woo! Hell yeah. When was the last time you did a wall sit? High school for me. All right. Shake out your legs. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All right. We're going to do a little bit of warrior 2 action. You don't need to have a wall, but it'll help bring a little bit more stability so you can focus on the engagement of your muscles. So I'm going to move over here momentarily. Bring both of your blocks, kind of like the yellow brick road, against the wall. And then your foot, your left foot, is going to go against them. So you can feel that stability. It's not going anywhere. And then find warrior 2, bending into the right leg. It doesn't need to be the deepest warrior 2 of your life. Trust that you're going to get the work in. So there's a strong lunge in the front knee. Knee is tracking more towards your pinky toe than your big toe. You might even rotate your foot so your toes point more out away from you. And then send energy out through your feet. So pushing both feet down and away from you, like you could tear your mat apart underneath you. Feel that strength, that heat moving through the legs. Hug baby in, send your arms out long to the side. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Good. Inhale, straighten the right leg, high triangle, arms come up high. And exhale, like you're pushing thick molasses down back to warrior two. Again, inhale, push the earth away, reach high, draw energy up. And exhale, push down, strong arms. 3 more like this, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Graceful, exhale, so strong. Last one, here we go. I love it. Good, come back up to center. So we got toes out, heels in. Draw your heart, hands to heart. There we go. Maybe a hand to baby. And let yourself sink into a little squat here. If you know where your baby's head is, and you're more than 30 weeks, 32 weeks, and your baby's head is not pointing down, I want you to skip this part and stay up high. Maybe you start to find some just like movement in the hips like this. Avoid a deep squat if you know that your baby is not head down later in your pregnancy. But for those of us who are here, find this little sway side to side. Movement is good, building strength in the legs. Good, find stillness. We're gonna do 3 squats. As you inhale, straighten your legs, reach up high, hug baby in. And as you exhale, hands to heart or hands to baby, sink to a depth that feels good. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last one, breathe in, reach high. And exhale, sink down low. So good. All right, come back to standing up. Wiggle out your legs. We're gonna do this on the other side. All right, I cannot face the other way and have a wall because this is a window. These are the limitations of being at home. So wherever you are this time, you're gonna put your right foot against. You're gonna bend into the left knee. And I'm gonna do that same thing just like this. Good. So we're pushing the right foot into the block and then down. Pushing the left foot into the earth and then out. Left knee is tracking more towards the pinky toes. Hug baby in here. Try to create as much space as you can along both of your sides. Finding that little lift through the heart, that spark. Send your arms out long, warrior two. And before we start to move, make your arms as strong as you can here. Like if I could reach through the screen and try to knock them down, they're not going anywhere. These arms are ready to hold a baby for the first 2 years of its life. All right, inhale, straighten your left leg, reach high. And exhale, back to warrior two, strong arms pressed down, yes. Inhale. And exhale. So strong, last one, breathe in. And breathe out, beautiful job. This time, come up, adjust your feet so toes are out, heels are in. If you're near the wall, you're not touching the block anymore. Invitation to do a second set of squats if you're like vibing on the squats. For those of us who maybe just want something that feels a little less intense, I offer you these little gentle twists. So bring your hands onto your thighs, inhale to lift your heart up, and exhale to bend one shoulder any amount and look over the other. This is a safe twist for pregnancy because your belly is staying forward. Inhale back to center and then exhale the other way. Good. And this is more of an upper spine twist. If you're feeling a little crunchy, maybe you try these sometimes. Let's do one more on each side. Taking your time, legs are still working. Good. Beautiful. Return to center. Bring yourself back up to stand. Shake that out. All right, we're going to come back to the wall for a calf stretch. So I like to keep at least one block against the wall still here. Put your toes up onto the block and step into it. So adjust as you need until you feel the calf stretch or the Achilles stretch that feels good to you. Notice how it changes if you bend the knee versus keeping it more straight. Couple of breaths here, keep your body relaxed. Let's switch out the legs. Ooh, ankle crack. Sometimes you just need to sigh, you know? Go ahead and let that side go. We're gonna do 2 more things at the wall, and then we're gonna start winding down. So you cannot, you're gonna be able to see me now, look at this. All right, we're gonna do some push-ups at the wall. So hands are shoulder width distance apart. Feet are as wide as feels good. You can be as close or as far away from the wall as you'd like here. As you inhale, bend your elbows, come in. And as you exhale, hug baby in, one fluid movement push out. Just like that, inhale to come in with control. And exhale to push out. If you want a little more challenge, walk your feet further back. Good, let's try for 10. Keep your core strong here as you think about hugging baby in. I know I keep saying that, but I bet the cue, hug your belly button to your spine, doesn't really land right now. So you're keeping the torso rigid so that the arms are doing the work here. It feels easy for the first 3 and then it feels harder. All right, I've got 2 more. Maybe you're going faster or slower than me. Amazing. All right, now here comes one of the best stretches of all time. I've heard it called shoulder pigeon. I don't know what it's really called. But you're gonna bring your, let's do left arm first, onto the wall, like about as high as your shoulder, and start to walk yourself away from your arm. This stinks, you can't see me, I'm sorry. You're gonna be stretching, so you're turning your chest away from the wall to bring the stretch across the front of your pecs and the front of your shoulder. So play around with the height of your arm, the amount you are away from the wall, the amount your chest is turning until you feel something that feels good to you. And then breathe. And then let's switch out sides. So this time walking the other arm away from you along the wall and then turning into the stretch. This is an amazing stretch for you to remember for postpartum. I'm spending a lot of time cradling a little one. It's going to be this really hunched feeling. This brings like a beautiful feeling of openness to the chest and the shoulders. Also great for office workers. Good. All right. When you are all done, you can wiggle your way on down to the mat. Actually, not yet. I'm sorry if you already sat down. Our last one is frog pose at the wall. So another big hip opener. If you skipped the squats the first time, skip this as well. Maybe you come back down to child's pose or to do some cat and cows on your hands and knees. Stack your blocks a couple inches away from the wall to make room for the booty. Step your feet on either side, toes out, heels in, and then slide down the wall until you land on your blocks. And this is it. You can just chill like this, leaning your back against the wall, keeping your spine long. You can keep it nice and easy, or you could kind of on purpose bring some more hip opening by pushing your arms into your legs and then kind of clamshelling your knees lightly in. This is a point of practice where I always like to invite you to practice a little bit of pelvic floor awareness. This is optional. If this is not for you today, ignore me. Let's start as you breathe here just by drawing awareness to your pelvic floor. This is the space that goes from pubic bone to tailbone, front to back, and from sit bone to sit bone, side to side. Kind of creates a little hammock of muscles. And see if you can let that release completely. And if that's challenging for you, if those muscles want to kind of stay engaged, then that's where you'll stay for the rest of this exercise, is breathing and allowing it to release and relax as best you can. Especially with the in-breath, can you bring a sense of softness to the pelvic floor? And if relaxing it was doable for you, maybe you want to practice engagement with the breath. So as you inhale, allow your pelvic floor to soften. And as you exhale, hug pubic bone to tailbone and sit bone to sit bone, allowing the floor to draw up. And then releasing again with your next inhale. Drawing to the center, lifting up as you exhale. A couple more breaths here, just practicing this on your own, breathing deeply. Good. All right, the transition out of this is a really sexy transition. And then just kind of like bring your hands onto the floor and best you can crawl down. It might not look pretty, that's okay. All right. If this feels okay in your body, try hero's pose. This is where you're sitting back on your heels. This is a lot for the knees. Bring one of your blocks or maybe your bolster between your butt and your heels. This increases the angle of flexion in the knees, which can help relieve any pinching. This is just another chance to practice a little bit of deep breathing as we prep for our last exercise. So as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, clasp them together, flip your palms up towards the sky. Take one more breath in here, finding space through your sides. And as you exhale, flip your palms so your palms face in, send your arms forward and pull your fingers apart. So rather than cat posing your back here, we're not doing this. Try to keep your spine relatively straight, but let this pull of the fingers apart. I feel this like right between my shoulder blades. It's a spot that's kind of otherwise difficult to stretch. You can try again here. Inhale, flip the palms up, find space. Exhale, send your arms forward, palms face you, pull apart. One more, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right. I'm choosing not to send us into Savasana. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This class is going to be 45 minutes. It's going to be like 48 minutes. It's worth it. Okay. We're going to set up for Savasana now. You worked hard. You deserve a break. Lay your blanket out on the floor just to give you a little cushion. We're going to lay down on your left side. So all the props are nearby. So on the left side here, slide your bolster towards you. Bring one block for your head to rest on. Start to ease yourself down. Ease, ease, ease. Blocks have different heights. Adjust as you need. And then this bolster, bring it close enough to you that you can send your right leg over it, kind of like you're spooning it. And if your bolster, mine's a little flat, yours might be cushier than mine. The second block is also here if you need a little more height so your hips are comfortable. Helps make room for baby. Adjust until you are comfortable enough to rest here for about 4 entire beautiful, quiet moments. You might start by taking a big breath in, filling up, and letting the sigh come out your mouth, savoring the feeling of being done and having nothing to do. Notice all the different places that your body is making contact with the ground beneath you. And let yourself surrender into that support. Consciously soften your scalp, the space between your eyebrows, the sockets of your eyes, your nostrils. Let your tongue rest on your lower palate, creating space and softness in the jaw. Soften the throat so that your breath can flow freely in and out. Feel your shoulders from the inside out, allowing any tension to melt like ice turning to water. Relax the space around your heart. Relax your whole upper back, that back of your heart space. Relax everything surrounding and supporting baby or babies. Observing any sensations or movements they might be making. Release your low back. Allow your hips to rest heavy. And trace the line of each of your long, strong legs from your hip socket all the way down to your toes, inviting a sense of ease and peace to your body that just worked so hard. And this last minute will be total silence for you to soak up your practice and enjoy. If it feels good for you to continue resting like this, please stay as long as your time allows. If you're ready to be guided out, start to wiggle your fingers and toes and deepen your breath. Maybe you start to roll out the wrists and your ankles, Maybe reach both arms overhead, finding a big stretch. But keeping this peacefulness you've cultivated, start to press yourself up to a seat. Take your time. And we'll close our practice with 3 big breaths together. So find your comfortable seat. As you breathe in, option to sweep your fingertips up towards the sky, maybe look up. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center, sealing your practice to your heart. 2 more times, breathe in. And breathe out, let go of something. 1 more time, biggest breath yet, inhaling, creating space, finding length. And exhale to your heart. Draw your thumbs up to third eye center. May all beings everywhere be happy, healthy, safe, and free. Thank you so much for sharing this practice today. All right. That was a 45-ish minute prenatal yoga for strength building. Let me know below how you're feeling. I hope you're feeling great. I love hearing from people what works, what doesn't, what you'd like to see more of. So I'm kind of just getting started with the prenatal yoga content on this channel. So let me know what you'd like to see. I love hearing from you. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.